Okay, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that is, I think, universal, maybe a little awkward, but something you definitely deal with every single morning.
Morning breath.
The science behind morning breath,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
You brush your teeth, you floss, you do everything right.
Yeah.
You go to bed feeling completely, minty fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wake up 8 hours later, and it feels like, I don't know, something has gone terribly wrong in there.
Right. It's not so fresh anymore.
Not at all. So our mission for this deep dive is to look at the source material you sent over and really break down scientifically why this happens. And then explore the solution that was suggested, transforming your oral ecosystem with oral probiotics.
Yeah, specifically looking at the approach in the ProvaDent documentation.
Right. And I think the biggest surprise right at the top is that this isn't about you failing at hygiene. The sources are so clear about that.
Not at all. It's a physiological process. It's normal.
It's an ecological challenge, not a cleanliness one. It's all about this delicate balance of bacteria in your mouth when the defenses kind of go offline for the night.
It's totally an issue of environmental control. And once you get the science, you can stop, treating it like you did something wrong and start managing it like a biological process.
So where does it start? What's the root cause?
It all starts with the most underrated hero of your mouth. Saliva.
Okay.
During the day, saliva is just constantly working. It's like this natural river, washing away food, neutralizing acids.
Flushing everything out.
It's flushing out those odor-causing bacteria before they can even set up shop. It keeps things fresh because the environment is always changing.
It's a built-in self-cleaning function.
That's a perfect way to put it. But then when you go to sleep, your body just, it dramatically reduces salivary flow.
So the cleaning crew just clocks out.
They're gone. For some people, it slows to a trickle, and that creates a state of, dry mouth.
And that's the trigger.
That is the critical trigger. It creates this perfect, still, undisturbed environment for harmful anaerobic bacteria. Those are the ones that thrive without oxygen to just multiply like crazy.
And what are they doing in there all night?
They're feasting on leftover proteins, food particles, even dead cells. And as they do that, they release their waste.
Hold on, I want to pause on that word, waste. So we're not just talking about stale air. We are literally talking about bacterial byproducts.
That's precisely right. And the thing that makes that smell so recognizable is the chemical makeup of that waste. They're breaking down proteins into these things called volatile sulfur compounds.
Sulfur. There it is. That's the rotten egg smell.
That's the one. It's literally the digested leftovers of bad bacteria. That's the science of stale.
Okay, so dryness is cause number one.
Right.
But the sources mentioned a second big factor, right?
Yeah.
The microbiome itself.
Yes, the existing balance. Because even with less saliva, if you have a really healthy, balanced oral ecosystem, the bad guys don't get as much of a chance to take over.
So you need the good guys to be sort of standing guard, even when the cleaning system slows down.
Precisely. If your microbiome is already a little unbalanced, maybe from stress or your diet or you've been sick, the bad sulfur-producing bacteria are already primed to dominate.
So when the saliva isn't there, they just go for it.
They multiply so fast, and because there's no competition, they just maximize that breakdown of protein into odor. It's a battle for territory, and they win it overnight.
That makes so much sense. And the sources also pointed out a few things that can make this even worse for people.
Oh, yeah, the compounding factors.
Let's run through those because a lot of people probably don't even realize the connection. First up was mouth breathing.
Huge one. If you breathe through your mouth at night, you're basically air drying your mouth exponentially faster. You're creating the perfect bacterial breeding ground.
I always just thought that was, an annoyance. Maybe you get a sore throat.
It's a welcome mat for these bacteria. And then there's lifestyle. Alcohol is a classic. It's a huge systemic dehydrator.
So that glass of wine at night.
It's seriously reducing your saliva production hours later, right when you need it the most. And smoking is even worse. It actually chemically alters the microbiome itself.
It gives the bad guys an advantage.
A distinct advantage. Then you have things like, coffee or spicy foods late at night. That's just leaving fuel for the fire.
Like a supply line for the enemy troops.
You got it. And the last one, and this is important, is medication. So many common medications, even over-the-counter ones, have dry mouth as a side effect.
So you can be doing everything else right, but fighting this uphill battle against your own medicine.
Exactly.
So, okay, the problem is dryness and a microbial takeover. Our first instinct is what? Chemical warfare. Grab the strongest mouthwash you can find.
Right. Blast them.
But the source material says this is not just ineffective long-term. It actually makes the problem worse. What is going on there?
The hidden danger is that those mouthwashes are, they're indiscriminate. Most of them, the powerful alcohol-based ones, are biocides.
Meaning they kill everything.
They kill all the bacteria, they wipe out the good guys, the beneficial microbes you need for balance, right along with the bad guys.
It's a scorched earth approach. So you feel fresh for, what, 30 minutes?
If that. But you've created a vacuum, and you can guess which bacteria are the toughest, the most resilient, and the fastest to grow back.
The bad ones. The odor-causing ones.
Of course. They thrive in that empty space with no competition.
So you're basically hitting the reset button and letting the aggressors come back even stronger. That is a truly vicious cycle.
It is. You rely on the mouthwash to feel fresh, but the mouthwash itself is making sure the problem comes back with a vengeance.
It's the definition of masking a symptom instead of fixing the root cause.
Exactly. You're just temporarily sterilizing the environment, which is the opposite of restoring a healthy, balanced harmony.
Which brings us perfectly to the alternative strategy. If the chemical warfare isn't working, we need to switch to, I guess, ecological support.
That's the key shift in thinking.
And this is where the oral probiotics come in, like the approach detailed for ProvaDent. You're flipping the script entirely.
You are. Instead of trying to kill, you're trying to cultivate. The whole idea is if your mouth is missing beneficial bacteria, you add them back in.
You repopulate.
You repopulate. Oral probiotics deliver these clinically backed good bacteria right into your mouth. And that's the first mechanism, restoring balance through competition.
So they don't just sit there.
No, they actively crowd out the harmful microbes. They compete for space, for resources, and they start to shift the environment to favor a healthy ecosystem.
The result being fewer sulfur producers.
And fundamentally fresher breath from the inside out.
Okay, but I'm still stuck on the dryness. Even with good bacteria, if my saliva flow is basically zero at night, doesn't that undermine the whole thing?
That's a great question, and it's where the second mechanism comes in. It's a feedback loop. A healthy, established population of good bacteria actually helps encourage and maintain better natural saliva flow. They help restore the microecology that signals your body to produce saliva.
So it's not like an instant flood of saliva, but by making the environment healthier, you're helping your body's natural cleaning system get back online.
Precisely. And remember, saliva isn't just water. It neutralizes acids, it washes away debris. It has its own antimicrobial agents.
Our sources had a great analogy for this.
They did. If dryness is the spark, saliva is the fire extinguisher.
Right. So by promoting the good bacteria, you're getting more fire extinguishers in place before the fire can even start.
That's it. It's a much more sophisticated approach than a 30-second blast of mint.
So that's two mechanisms. What's the third? The sources suggested this goes beyond just breath to like actual structural health.
This is the deepest connection. The third mechanism addresses the source of the most persistent, serious odors. Many chronic bad breath cases aren't just from bacteria on the surface. They're linked to unhealthy gum pockets, to gingivitis, to deep plaque buildup.
And why do those deep areas matter so much for morning breath?
Because those pockets are highly anaerobic. They lack oxygen. It's the perfect sanctuary for the absolute worst, most noxious sulfur-producing bacteria to live completely undisturbed.
Somewhere a toothbrush can't reach.
Can't get anywhere near them. So they hide there, they multiply, and they become this constant source of odor.
So how does a probiotic help with that?
Well, a formula like the one described for ProvaDent often includes nutrients alongside the probiotics. So you're supporting overall gum health, reducing inflammation, reducing that plaque buildup.
They're shrinking their hiding spots.
You are actively shrinking the unhealthy environments, which basically starves the worst offenders of their homes.
Okay, so let me see if I have this right. It's a three-pronged strategy.
Mm-hmm.
1, you crowd out the bad guys with good guys.
Yeah.
2, you encourage the natural saliva fire extinguisher to come back online.
Yeah.
And 3, you eliminate the deep anaerobic breeding grounds where the worst bacteria hide.
That is a perfect summary. It's a systemic fix, not a superficial one. It works gently to create balance that lasts, even while you sleep.
So let's make this real for people. The source material gave some great, very relatable scenarios where this actually matters.
Yeah, let's talk about the early morning meeting. It's 8 a.m., you're on a video call, talking near the mic.
And you're constantly worried about your breath.
It just erodes your confidence. Knowing your oral flora is balanced gives you that confidence back. You're not doing that pre-meeting panic brush.
And then there's the big one. Couple mornings. Nothing kills a cozy, intimate moment faster than you know.
The sudden realization. We've all done that subtle move where you try to breathe into the pillow.
The strategic pillow turn, a universal sign of microbial imbalance.
Totally. So being able to just have those moments feel natural instead of awkward, that's a huge quality of life upgrade.
It really is. And what about the fitness early bird, the person who goes straight to the gym?
Right, you're already dealing with dry mouth from dehydration and working out. Add morning breath to that, and it's a real struggle. A balanced system means your breath is just ready to go.
It's about not having to apologize for your own existence before 9 a.m.
Exactly.
So if someone listening is convinced, what are the most practical things they can start doing tonight?
Okay, 4 key tips. Number 1, obvious. Don't skip night brushing and do it for 2 full minutes. But number 2 is the real game changer for most people.
Which is?
You have to clean your tongue.
Okay, I have to jump in. I always thought a tongue scraper was just like a marketing gimmick. Can't I just use my toothbrush?
You can try, but it's not nearly as effective. Here's why. Your tongue isn't smooth. It's covered in these tiny projections that create a huge, deep surface area.
Right.
Most of those anaerobic, odor-causing bacteria live deep in those crevices. A toothbrush just kind of moves them around. A scraper physically removes that whole biofilm. It's the single most effective thing for immediate odor reduction.
Message received. The tongue scraper is not optional. What's number 3?
Stay hydrated before bed. Don't go to sleep already dehydrated, especially after drinking alcohol or a hard workout. Just give your saliva the best possible starting point.
Makes sense. And number 4.
If you do go the oral probiotic route, be consistent. You have to use it regularly to reinforce that good bacteria population and maintain that environmental shift.
And last but not least, address the mouth breathing. If you think that's you, maybe try nasal strips or a humidifier. Manage the environment, manage the odor.
That's the whole philosophy.
This has been really fascinating. The main takeaway for me is just morning breath is fixable, but only when you stop fighting and start supporting your oral microbiome.
Stop stripping it away. Start building it up.
Exactly. So I want to leave everyone listening with one final thought. We learned that these persistent odors are often a symptom of deeper issues, like plaque or gingivitis.
The odor is a signal.
It's a signal.
Yeah.
Which raises a much bigger question, I think. How many of our other everyday struggles are actually rooted in some kind of hidden microbial battle that we just try to mask?
It's a great question.
You know, think about small shifts in your energy or minor digestive issues. We reach for a coffee or an antacid, a quick superficial fix.
Right, we mask the symptom.
But if restoring balance in the mouth can fix this, what other subtle signals are our bodies sending us about systemic imbalance that we're totally ignoring?
That is a powerful way to think about it. The mouth is just the doorway to a much larger ecosystem in the body. And once you start looking at health through that lens of restoring harmony instead of just fighting symptoms, you realize how powerful the microbiome really is.
A path to fresher mornings, and maybe a lot more than that.
I think so. It's definitely something worth exploring.